fear being judged by other people? It's a very common fear in our society. And in this video, I want to give you the 3 steps to come back to a feeling of being relaxed when you go out into the society, going to a party or some gathering, so you can actually let go of that fear. And it's so important to know these steps and to practice them so you can free yourself, feel empowered, and simply accept yourself as you are. Okay, hey, I am Carolina Cummins. I'm a self-love mentor, and I'm here to help you to empower yourself, to improve your emotional resilience, and really back yourself with your own love so that you no longer need anybody to approve of you or love you. Okay, so if you have this fear of being judged by others because you think maybe you're not good enough or you're not clever enough, maybe you fear that you could do something wrong or that you don't fit in and people will ridicule you, or put you down in some ways. And of course, the very first step to notice here is the fear. Go into the fear and stop trying to change anything on the outside. Like by maybe hiding away or playing small or not saying anything and not being yourself. That really is the worst thing you can do. I know this is a surviving mechanism and you might have to do it for a while, but now that you want to change it, become aware of the fear. I invite you to go into the fear, to feel it, to be present with it, to allow it to be there, to maybe write out the thoughts that come up when you feel that fear. Maybe there is a scenario you remember where something bad happened, and because of that event, you're basically still projecting that fear forward, that it could happen again. And the question to ask is always, do I want that to happen again? Or am I now ready and willing to change that old scenario and that old expectation of the same will happen again? See, when you don't have that expectation anymore, then you can also let go of that fear. So work with the fear, just let it be there. Don't try and smother it or change it or do something to get rid of it in a way of pressing it down with like avoiding it in some ways. So do the opposite, bring it out to the light. That's the first step, because if you don't do that, the subconscious mind where this fear is stored will always again and again bring this fear up, and it will run your life. Your outside scenarios, your outside achievements that you want to experience, they won't happen because the fear is blocking your desires. So the first step is always to uncreate and dissolve the fear, because fear is a energy blocker. It's hindering your own love to shine. And fear is always the big energy blocker, the big, it's the hindrance. It's the obstacle in your way to actually feel your own love. Okay, so now imagine you have practiced this for a while, and then you come to realize that all this fear was always there because of other people, right? Other people told you in the past something. They judged you. And because that happened, you gave them more power. You believed what they said, and you made it real what they said, and you accepted what they said, even though it was not true at all, right? So come to the realization that what they said was, number one, it was not true. It was only their own perception, and they were projecting some of their pain forward onto you. Because people can only judge when they are not happy. People will never judge you when they are coming from pure love. So anybody who's able to judge you has their own unresolved, unhealed issues that they need to deal with. So if anybody comes along and treats you in any way that isn't loving, you can be for sure that they are not coming from the truth, They're not coming from love, and they are not coming from the highest self. They are projecting their pain onto you. So you can decide to no longer receive that. And again, you need to have the awareness of this. If anybody says anything to you that isn't coming from love, you can be for sure that they are not speaking the truth. So just reject it. Don't take it on anymore. Practice that you are hearing when some people are telling you something that isn't true. Know it. Oh, just like fake news or some news that you don't want to engage with, that you can't do anything about anyway. Just don't let it get to you. Basically ignore it. It's like, oh, thank you, I don't need that. It's really as simple as that, but it does need practice. So you decide to not take on their stuff and you stay in your own power. And by doing that, you are empowering yourself. You're staying in your own energy, and you're choosing to only let love and truth and good vibes to come to you. So that's step number 2. And then once you practice that again, you are then able to actually back yourself with your own love. So maybe there's a scenario coming along where you used to feel upset because it looks like people are not loving you, or they reject you, or they don't accept you. And in the past it would hurt you, because it will always hurt the ego, the little me, because the little me needs to be approved by other people. But as long as we are staying in that little me, and as long as we are identified with the ego mind, we will always have problems, inner pain, we will feel lack of love, lack of appreciation, on all of the stuff that the ego wants. But when we are realizing that we are love again, when we come back to our own heart, and when we can feel our own love, that comes up when we maybe interact with our children, or with our pets, or with some friends. We feel love for other people. And in the same way, we love for ourselves. We can feel our love for ourselves. It's always there. Maybe we have a tendency to project it out to others, but actually we are the ones who need our love first in order to have a full cup, in order to live in this world, and in order to be able to be empowered and not let any little comment or judgment of other people bring us down. So when you come into a situation again where it feels like maybe a little hurt is coming up, you can immediately stop it by reminding yourself of that you are already loved, and nobody needs to love you except you. So when you tell yourself in that moment, I love you, I am appreciating myself, I accept myself as I am, I don't need anybody's approval. And you basically fill yourself up with your own love, with your own praise, with your own appreciation. So you're coming from your own love, you're coming from your heart. Always think, what would love do now? Love would simply love. So the more love you can bring up and you can send towards yourself, and you can back yourself up and fill your own cup, immediately that little pain that might have just tried to come up will go. The love is actually healing it, because it's correcting the erroneous thinking there. Thinking of, oh, I'm not good enough, nobody wants me, I'm not accepted. You can immediately basically delete it by sending love to that belief or that thought. And so that's how you are helping yourself to no longer need to fear anybody's judgment. It is a journey, it takes its time. But when you are really committed and dedicated to your own self-love, your life is going to change so much. Things are coming to you much easier. You're making friends much easier. You can be your true self, radiating your own self, the essence of who you are. And people love it so much more when you're authentic. And they would love to make friends with you because it's easy. You're open and you're natural. And that is going to create the best friendships you can possibly have. It also attracts all sorts of other things into your life, because you're actually resonating with life itself much, much closer now when you're loving yourself, because life itself is love. The essence of life is love, peace and joy. It's a very harmonious energy. You know, there's no quarrel, there's no stress or any fear. And so the more you are aligned with that life energy, the more life can bring you with ease. So there's the bonus. Let me know if this was helpful. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you like to hear more tips and advice on how to live yourself from love, how to live your life from love, and how to actually love yourself more. It all goes hand in hand. Have a beautiful day. Until next time, bye for now.